So these are the first type of aquaculture is known as mariculture. Mariculture comes from the word marine. So marine, it is from the word marine culture. We are using the term mariculture. Now in this of mariculture, the basic idea is that we are culturing either fish or other kind of aquatic animals in an open sea. Here you can see that. So I will show you a picture. So this is how the mariculture is normally conducted. So in the case of mariculture, we are culturing fish in an open sea, like in this enclosed cages. And that kind of culture which we are conducting in a marine environment or in a sea water is known by the name mariculture. Now, different types of aquatic organisms like finfish, shellfish, seaweeds are also cultured using this kind of techniques. So there is a very large ring-like thing. There will be net on all the sides, and fish will be put inside this enclosure, and they will be able to live within that. At the same time, they cannot escape because of the presence of cage, but they will be able to get run seawater, and whatever nutrients bought by the seawater can also be taken by the fishes living inside the cages. So that is the advantage of mariculture. Now many products like cosmetics, jewelry from cultured pearls and fish meal are also obtained from mariculture. This is one of the popular type of aquaculture. Now coming to another type, that is alga culture. If you look at the term, you can clearly understand what is a alga culture. It is a culture of algae. So if you are culturing algae, we call it by the name alga culture. So there is micro alga are there as well as macro alga are there. Micro means small algae. Macro means comparatively larger algae like seaweed. So in this micro algae, mostly it includes phytoplankton. You know what is a plankton, and also our planktonic algae. So phytoplankton or seaweeds are also cultured by using this kind of technique known by the name alga culture. Now in the case of Japan, they are one problem with Japan is that they do not have any cultivable land on there, because most of the regions in Japan are mountainous, and because of the mountainous terrain, and they are not able to cultivate most of the food grains like cereals or paddy or other kind of agriculture crops. It's not easy for them, and Japan is mostly importing its food from other countries. So they are very good in exploiting whatever resources offered by the sea, and Japan is also therefore at the forefront of alga culture. And if you go to Japan, you can get a lot of curries made of algae. So they are very good in utilizing the algae, and also they are making it a good in the profitable industry because of their expertise in that. So although micro algae is used for variety of commercial purpose, its size and cultivation needs make it hard to grow. That's one problem with the micro algae. So, but microalgae are easier to harvest on a larger scale. Here you can see that this is a microalgae. We can obtain several kind of food materials from this algae. They are rich in protein. That is one advantage of microalgae. Alga contains a lot of proteins, and because of the presence of protein, they are very good food item. Now there is another method known by the name freshwater aquaculture. In the case of freshwater aquaculture, we are culturing the fish or other kind of aquatic organism in a fresh water or in a river water. So river waters are mostly fresh water. So if you are culturing fishes or any other aquatic organism in a river or in a fresh water, we call it by the name freshwater aquaculture. Here we can see that. Now there is another type known as brackish water aquaculture. Now you know that when a river, for example Periyar is starting in Idukki region, they are flowing and reaching Kochi, At Cochin, at the place called Varapura. Near Varapura or Alua side, they are merging into the open sea. And that area where the river is merging into an open sea is known as an estuary. So what is the feature of an estuary? In an estuary, the salt content or salt concentration of the water will be very. At the side of the ocean, it will be very high. At the side of the river, it will be very low. So if you go to the an estuary, if you take an estuarine water, we are seeing a variable salinity. That is, from the river side to ocean side, the salt content or the concentration of salinity is gradually increasing. So that is one peculiarity of the water in an estuary. And water present in an estuary is known by the name brackish water. So whenever you hear the term brackish water, it simply means a mixture of river water as well as sea water. Or in the regions where a river is merging into an open sea, we are finding brackish water. So wherever a river is opening into a sea, we are seeing a brackish water. Now many kinds of fish, for example, mugil, prawns, mussels, milkfish, and pearl spot. These are some of the fishes which are living mainly in brackish water. For example, if you go to Vaikam area, most of the water they were seeing is mainly brackish water because the Muvattupuzha river is opening there to the ocean, and because of that, water bodies present in Vaikam area are mostly brackish water. That is, there is a variable salinity. Some organism can live only in a brackish water environment. So, and if you are taking a fish living in Vaikam area and introducing it in the Periyar river at the Idukki region, they may probably die because they cannot adapt to the salinity condition of the Idukki waters in the Idukki region. So, that is a peculiarity of the brackish water. Many important, commercially important fishes are only growing in brackish water. So brackish water has that signal. Then mangrove crab, then Scylla serrata, the common crab that we are finding, are also mainly inhabiting the brackish water. So that kind of aquaculture, where we are culturing organism in a brackish water environment of variable salinity, is known as a brackish water aquaculture. One peculiarity of the brackish water is that the brackish waters are rich in oxygen and plankton. So that is one of the reason why many kinds of fishes are exclusively inhabiting brackish water area, because that area is has a high food content. So because of the high availability of food, many fishes prefer to live in brackish water environment. Covered with open sea or river water, the availability of food or availability of the food contents or nutrients is more in a brackish water environment. So that is the reason why many fishes choose to live in an environment of variable salinity. So these are some of the important fishes which can be found exclusively in a brackish water. This here also you can find some pictures of the brackish water here. Many of you may be coming from Vaikam area and you are all familiar with these kinds of brackish water aquaculture. As I told you, this aquaculture is always a very highly profitable industry. The only thing, if you know the technical skill and also the financial skill and the marketing skill, you can make huge profits from aquaculture. But you need to have what is called business tactic, how to promote, how to market your product. That is one important thing because everybody is culturing, and it is important that you have to get your product to the right consumer at the right price. Then only you will be able to make profit. Now another is meta-haline culture. Now in this meta-haline culture, in off seasons, so salt manufacture, salt pans are utilized for fish culture. Now for example, this is a type of organism that we are using for meta-haline culture. Basically, the idea is that you know how salt is produced. If you go to Gujarat area or the Dandi area where Gandhiji created produced salt, we can find the seawater is rich in salt content. And what they are doing, they are collecting seawater and they will be putting in large trays. Very large trays are there. Not ordinary, very large trays, or you can also make it using mud. And in that large mud pans or other kinds of pans, they are mostly producing the salt. But during off season means mostly during the time of monsoon or rainy season, the production of salt may not be easy. So during that time, animals which are able to tolerate high salinity. There is one example is this Artemia. This is a planktonic organism known as Artemia. We can grow this this kind of organism like brine shrimp or Artemia salina. This kind of brine shrimp can be easily cultured in the salt pans of Gujarat area or other kinds of area where salt is produced. So that kind of technique is known as a metahalide culture. That is, in the off seasons of salt manufacturing, the salt pans are used for fish culture. That is, in a simple sense, metahalide culture simply means culturing aquatic organism in a water of high salt content. If you are growing fish or any other aquatic organism in a water and that is rich in salt or having high salt content, is known by the name metahalide culture. Then there is another type of culture known as cage culture. Now in this culture, fishes are held in a section of water, either in a flowing river or in a big impoundment. Here you can see that. This idea is known as a cage culture. What they are doing, this is a net, and by using some floating devices, they are suspending the net, and the fish will be living inside the enclosed net. So since the water can easily flow, the water will be bringing most of the nutrients, oxygen, and also helping removal of the waste material. So it is like putting water in a running environment. Okay, now please listen. Okay, keep quiet. Okay, now please listen. So this is known by the name cage culture. So what we are doing, we are actually culturing fish in a enclosed cages. So advantage of enclosed cages is that we don't need to supply any food, or we don't need to take care of the water quality of the water. We don't need to supply any oxygen. So that is the, because everything is will be coming from the free flowing natural water or from the sea water. So this kind of technique where we are culturing fish in a impoundment. This is our first year. Okay. So this is known by the name cage culture. Now this is another picture that is showing the cage culture. You can see that if you go to certain research institute like CMFRI, you can see this kind of cage cultures. Because CMFR is in Kochi. Because we normally take our zoology students there, and because I think you also need a field trip. I will discuss with my HOD. If they are willing, I will take you for a one-day trip. No, not sure. We will discuss, because many of the topics, that is, for example, aquaculture, only your department, only your class. Okay, that we will discuss later. Okay, don't think about that, because we don't have any time. Okay, please listen. So this is how the cage cultures are conducted. So, എന്താണ് വലിയ എത്രയൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടോ അതിനെ ഏത് ഫിഷിനെ ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യാം? ഇപ്പോൾ പേൾ സ്പോട്ട്, ഇപ്പോൾ കരിമീനൊക്കെ ഇല്ലേ, അതിനൊക്കെ ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് കുഴപ്പമില്ല. ആ ഞങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പോൾ